Hey, what's going on YouTube? Swift bringing you a brand new video. Today we are going to be streaming the completion, hopefully, of the recipe for disaster quest. I've been looking to complete this for a long time. So we're gonna go for it. I am on the last sub-quest, if you will, to fight the bosses, like at the end. So this is the inventory I think I need right now. The ice gloves for Flambead. And so on. So we're gonna get right to this. Let's get started here. I was just seeing if anything. We did sell some stuff earlier. We're gonna go to Lumbridge and we're gonna finish this off. This is the gear that I'm gonna be running with. We're going all in on this. One second. Okay, so we can't use prayer, if I'm reading this right. Give me 1 second. We can't use prayer. Alright, we're gonna defeat one at a time here, just in case I'm in trouble. Yo, what's going on, Henry? Hey, how you doing? So I'm not gonna need these prayer potions, will I? You can teleport out. Hold on, chat. I'm not feeling good. 1 second. Hey, I'm still here. I suddenly just don't feel well, so I need like a good minute here. I don't know what happened. Just suddenly feel not right. Like my hands are clammy and cold. I don't know why. I have no clue, guys. I was fine a minute ago. I don't know. What's up, Crab? I see you. How you doing, Crab? Give me a minute. Hey, everybody. Alright, so I'm gonna give this another try. But I don't know. I just suddenly started to not feel right. So yeah, it was just like I got like warm all of a sudden and just clammy hands. I haven't played that long. I mean, I was walking outside for like a good hour. I don't know. I don't know what that was. I don't know. What I'm trying to do is I'd like to finish this quest. Now, I've waited years to do this. I'm trying to overcome health challenges and play this game, and it's really it kind of wears on me a little bit. I want to just do the quest and have fun with it, right? So the thing is, you got to be careful at this particular part when you're doing this quest, because you can't use prayer. That's something that I'm going to be trying to get used to. So I'm not going to be able to protect against range. So in this caramel fight, I might have to tab out if I don't like the result. Thanks for the likes, guys. Appreciate the support. Sorry, there's going to be some back and forth here. I've wanted to stream and do videos more, but I'm just finding that physically, or just dealing with health challenges, it's just sometimes you just don't have the words. I want to do these things, but I just can't. It's kind of annoying, but I'm gonna do my best here. I like this game. I have fun with this game. I want to be a good example, set a good example. What's good to do. Always remember to take a lot of breaks when you play these games, right? I was doing that, like I said earlier. I was out, I was walking. I noticed this one other time when I played Call of Duty. There's a particular kind of gum that I chew, and I don't think there's sugary. I don't think it's sugary, but anyways, it's something about like getting on and playing, and it's like a battle, and it's like, I don't know, maybe it just wasn't a good combination. So I got some water. If I have that happen again, then I'm gonna kind of call it, sadly. But I do want to keep going here, and I appreciate everyone's support. I also think that part of the problem is those portals when you go into that dining hall. Those portals have like a shimmering effect, and it's constant during the battle. And I think that isn't helping me either. Because some of those effects kind of bother me, and I've kind of said that in other games. I don't know why it has to be so prominent. But anyways, I think Flambeed is the next one. Flambeed is the next boss. We took out the first one from Shadow of the Storm. Flambeed is okay. So we're gonna need the ice gloves. If you attack him without ice gloves, your weapon will return to your inventory. He's harder to defeat without prayer, but you should be able to kill him with plenty of high healing food. Okay, so we're going to, for now, for this particular fight, I need to use the ice gloves, so I've got those. I'm trying to think, too. We need to basically, if I'm in trouble, I have to teleport out, guys. And me not being 100% to begin with, if I'm losing the fight, I'm just going to tab out. I can't. My normal, like, planning and approach, I'm going to just have to tab out if I'm at a disadvantage here. I'm not gonna mess around, . So I think what matters is just having enough healing, right? I mean, wishing you the best with that stuff, Swift, but it's always good to see you doing your thing. Hey, yeah, so Crab, it's been a minute. I was hoping things were going well for you, you know? Um, I've appreciated, your, well, everyone's support, but especially kind of what you've done and helped with my channel and stuff over the, seems like years now. So thank you for that. All right, so I'm going to try this one more time. But to get back to Lumbridge, I'm going to have another slot for teleport. Honestly, like me at my best, like I don't even know what my potential would be, but anyways, let's continue on here. I'm gonna go back to the fight. And I'm actually gonna use the super combat before I go in there. See, I don't like this portal. It really bothers me. From like a standpoint of just the accessibility. Maybe that is what. Yeah, it is doing it. I gotta move over here. I can. Got it. Oh no. Not really, but I'll spare you the details of what's been going on. Oh, you're good, Crab. I trust that. I got you. Would you recommend this game to someone that has never played it? Oh yeah, no, Crab, this is one of the most fun games I've ever played, personally, yeah. Yeah, if you were to get on this game, I would yeah, I'd help you out, sure, So it's Old School Runescape. I'm just thinking through what else I need to do. Again, I'm not 100%, so I'm just gonna. Some of these decisions are gonna be slower. What I'm thinking I need to do is make sure I'm always super combated. And then Caramel is going to. What'll end up happening is you are going to be frozen in place. Bring stat restore potions and lots of food. Even with lowering your stats, Caramel is incredibly inactive. Okay, so we've got the potion. Maybe I could bring another. Maybe I'll just bring the other stat restore. And then now I'm done with the ice gloves. Now I'm pretty sure, right? I think so. All right, give me 1 second. So what's going to happen is we're going to be fighting this this boss up up close. So we probably can go back to back against the next two. I'm gonna have to bank after this, after those, and then we've got 2 more after. Let's take out Caramel and Dessert. All right. Yeah, part of the problem is that silly the portal effect. This right here. This right here. That's what's bothering me. Once you complete the quest, it goes away. Where's the enemy? Alright. There's actually multiple portals. I didn't realize that. Good. All right. All right. That's as far as I could go there. So now Okay, so we took out caramel and we took out dessert. So now we have the Gelatinoth Mother and the Kalindromancer left to go, and then the quest is done. The thing about the Daganeth Mother is that the only when it's orange are my melee attacks going to. So I gotta actually think about this. The guide is saying to use maging and ranging for this. So you could pretty much use, I guess, some of these blast spells. I'm not much of a mage, so hold on. Let me see. All right, so I'm just trying to think through. I'm gonna test. This is gonna be a long fight, but the problem is when I did. Okay, so when I did the Horror from the Deep quest and I had prayer, it took a while, but I mean, I just meleeed it because you have a 1 in 6 chance of when it's in a melee, like when it's orange, you can melee. But oh, I see. Yeah, because they're saying, oh, this might actually be pretty tough. This might be pretty tough. Let me look at the stats of this particular boss. The Gelatinoth Mother. 240 health. But the problem is, you only have so much time to melee before they switch. Before the boss switches styles. We can get hit pretty big with ranged and magic. We can get hit like 40s from it. The thing I don't understand though is the magic attack is 1 though. So how would it even hit me, I guess? Well. Hey, what's up, everybody? I'm just getting my inventory ready because I've got 2 more bosses to fight for recipe. I need to fight the the Daganeth Mother, basically, and then the Kalindromancer. That's what I'm prepping for right now. Just give me 1 second. Just bear with me here. So prayer doesn't work when you're going to do recipe, like in this final battle. Prayer doesn't work. A lot of the advantage that I had been enjoying during the regular quests, I'm having to make an adjustment that these bosses can hit you big. And the thing is I don't think because the way that it explained it in the beginning, like when you die in there with your gear, I don't know if you can get it back. So like, I'm going to be tabbing like immediately if I'm on the ropes. And the thing is with this boss, well, the next two, but especially this one, it seems like you can get hit multiple like 20s. You can get hit like 20-20. So, I mean, I'm probably going to have to bring 2 attacks. And I'm going to have to do like a switch. So I'm going to do probably, I think I'm going to go, what, mage and melee? I'm trying to think of what I would do. But again, only if, so basically, this boss is going to change colors, right? The only time melee would be good is when it's orange. That's the only time it's good. 4 out of the 6 forms you can use. Actually, well, here's the caveat. Yeah, so you have a 1 in 6 chance. You actually have a 1 in 6 chance of getting the right element, but it's a 4 in 6 chance of being opportunity to use a magic spell to damage it. So it looks like magic is the way to go. I'm not really a mage. So, I mean, I'm not really a mage, but I guess I'm gonna have to be today. I'm seeing if I even have anything viable to attack it with. What I'm wondering is if I should just try the one way and show you just how difficult it is, and then I'll come back with like the dual setup maybe. Alright, so I guess I'm going to bring as many sharks as I can, because what else am I going to bring, you know? So we'll... I'm going to pre-pot here. Use a cheap bass, because whatever. And then we're going to tab, and we're going to try. And the only time it'll be damaged is when it's orange. Otherwise, I'm gonna take damage. See, I don't know if I should probably. We're gonna find out how soon I need to tab here. We're gonna find out. See how it'll be 20-20? It could easily be 20-20. When it's orange is when it's going to start taking melee. And I think it goes through the colors in a pattern. Here we go. It's orange, isn't it? All right, now we got to hang in there. Oh, I thought I got hit. That color change, that's a really sharp red. Whew. I'm just waiting until it's orange again. So it's rotating through all the colors. It looks like in order, I guess. So then it's gonna be blue after this. And then it's gonna be orange again. Right? It looks like it's a set pattern. Now we've got another rotation to go, and then I should win. The moment it changes color, there seems to be like a hitch where... Or we got hit. There seems to be a hitch, so you need to attack again. Come on. Come on, come on. Got it. Alright, you wanted to go, and I've waited years to beat you. So it's time to end it. Done. That's it. Years in the making. Despite the health challenges, I found a way to finish this quest, guys. Now I finally earned the right to have the Barrows gloves. 1 quest point, an antique lamp, and full chest access. And the portal's gone, which is actually big for accessibility. Because I think that's what was bugging me. So what am I going to do with my XP lamp, you're asking? We're going to get 20,000 XP, and guess what? We're picking mining. Yeah. Mining. Hey, we gained a level. Oh, and I almost gained 2 levels. Nice. Nice. All right. Yeah. Finally done. That's awesome. We're going to go down here. So when you're done with the quest, you go down to the basement, I guess. And you see this chest here? What you want to do is, well, you can bank. So yeah, go like bank chest. And then we're gonna deposit everything here. Let me just. And then I'm gonna withdraw. I don't know how much it is. Then what you do is you right click the chest again and you go to buy items. And oh, it's 130,000. Okay. Hey, and in case we need 60 of the gloves, chat, the bank has got us covered. You know what I mean? Now, if you need 61 of them, well, you're kind of out of luck, but you're good if you need 60. We're going to buy 1, a pretty modest 1, and then that is going to complete a hard task in the Lumbridge Drainer diary. Thanks, Kazaa. Yo, hey, thanks. We got the Barrows gloves, finally. I remember I told you all those weeks ago, I was like, oh yeah, ew, because I'm going to get the Barrows gloves. And then I just kept, you know, putting it off. We're going to retire the dragon gloves, and now we've got the Barrows gloves. I think you can alch these, but anyways. They're just going to go into my miscellaneous quest tab for now. Hey, yeah, at least you got to. That's cool. Yeah. Let me just check the price of something here. Yeah, Torva is going down right now. If anyone is wanting to buy any Torva, this might be a good day because if they do say anything more about TOA tomorrow in the blog post, then the price will probably go back up. Okay, wow. You know what? Oh, and because I ended up getting well, because I had to for Desert Treasure. I got 53 thieving. I was, man, taking from the wealthy citizens in Varlamore or whatever. That's really click intensive, but the XP is good, but it's like click intensive. When the street urchin like distracts the person and you like click, I can't imagine doing that for like 10 hours, but I mean, I got to level 53. I just gained, like I said, I gained a mining level, which is good to do. We're close to another mining level, you know. But that was Recipe for Disaster. We got the Barrows gloves, which I'll show you. When you go to equip them, you can see the statistics. So as an upgrade from where we were when we were really training, like before I was doing like Monkey Madness and things like that, I was using the Rune gloves when I would do Slayer tasks and everything like that. So now we're gonna get plus 4 stab over what we were getting when we were doing those tasks. So plus 4 stab, plus 4 melee strength, which is big time. That's like we're using Torva plate legs now. You know what I mean? Like as like an upgrade from 0, right? And we're also going to get a better defense bonus as well. You can see plus 12 for those. So those are your overall utility gloves that are very good. Obviously, you've got the alchemical ones that are going to be the best for training specifically, but I mean, these are your overall effective combat level kind of deal where you're working on a balanced character, like overall like defense and all that. These are excellent gloves. I highly would recommend. And if I can do it, given the fact that it took me years, well, not with this character, but you know, it took me months. A lot of people can work towards doing this quest, and to check it off their to-do list. Now I don't have a special quest anymore because I did it. Yeah, we're done with that, and we finished a hard task in an achievement diary as well, so that is always good as well. So what I'm gonna do? Let me see. I kind of want to get back on a task, and I guess we'll take this time and kind of do some Slayer. Let me go back to the GE real quick, everybody, and kind of go from there. Let me check my trades, and then we'll see. I'll probably do a little bit of some tasks or something. Just to bring everyone up to speed in case maybe you didn't get to see the last episode, but I ended up getting 99 cooking, and I got 99 farming. So we got those to the maximum level, 99. And I'm working on getting prayer to 99. I am at 88 prayer right now, which is big. I mean, that's huge. And even checking like the highest scores, it's not really common even to get 88 where I'm at. There's like 300,000 people that have done it, but in comparison, there's like 321,000 that have got 99 cooking. So you see less people and it's 11 levels lower. So there's something to that. And a large part, it's due to the cost, right? The cost of the bones. Well, anyways. So, let's see. What we are going to do is check trades. I'm going to go over very briefly. I'm just going to take a minute and give you a quick, like the quick money making, like the kind of the why behind some of my offers here, and then I'm going to go do some Slayer tests. I think we're going to have an update later, right? Because I think it'll be, I think they typically do them, what, Wednesday, right? So anyways, sometimes these Sunfire Fanatic sets just go crazy with price for like an hour. They go up to like 30 million. So I'm kind of like, why not? Like, why not? May as well be me, right? Because I usually miss out on those. You know what I mean? But that would be like, that'd be like a 12, 13 mil profit. So, you know, why not? And Torva, like I'm saying, Torva's interesting right now. This would be a great time to buy Torva because I think if they say anything with TOA in the positive light, Torva's going to go up because a lot of players use Torva for raids. So keep that in mind. I'm a little nervous now because I do see the price has fallen, but from experience, this has happened before, and then it shot back up the next day because of an announcement. That's why we're doing that. Let me get my gear here for Slayer task. Let me think. What am I doing? So we're gonna use the Torva legs, the Rancor, and the Defender and the Slayer helmet over what we've got going for equipment now. Just switch these out and kind of set everything aside. I kind of have these like swords and things as more like quest gear that I use for quests. I've got my main set for Slayer and everything. You can see now the stab bonus is 166. I think that's the highest bonus I've had yet. So we're going to be pretty accurate. Pretty strong, like compared to what we've, like I said, from when we were training with the Rune gloves, now we're training with the Barrows gloves. It's going to make a pretty big difference. So let's go try it out. Let me see what kind of tasks I'm on here. Oh, great. Okay, 149 black needles. All right, so let's go ahead and I'm going to gear up for this Slayer task. Yeah, I just bring my normal setup, what I would need to fight there for an hour, right? Until I get agility to a certain point for that shortcut. I do have to bring the Dusty Key, because I go to Taverley. So I go to Taverley. That's actually where we're going to go. Oh, wait. I just saw that I bought the plate legs, guys. Hold on. I gotta go back to the GE. Take two. Take two. Hold on, I gotta go back to the GE. Psych. I mean, I gotta take two and action. Well, because what I'm trying to do, so here's my philosophy. Here's my philosophy. I'm just going to tell you over the years what I've learned. Maybe this will help you, you know? What I'm thinking is when I get a deal and things are kind of rolling, you have a buy limit of eight Torva plate legs every 4 hours, right? So why not flip Like, try to flip 7 of them, and then you keep the 8th one for yourself at that great price. If you can do it. If you can do it. So, what... okay, 194. We're going to try... We're going to try, what, 194, 749. Okay. Alright. We're going to do that. So basically, I've got 2 offers. I've got 2 sell offers that's, I'll make sense of it. So basically, this is in anticipation of any news for TOA that's going to break, or just demand spiking. I overpaid for the legs. I'm trying to compensate for that. This is a quick flip, and then this is like, if it really crashes, this is hit like near historic low. So that's why I'm doing it. All right, now we're going to go back and do our Slayer task. It's pretty important that I just came and did that. All right. So that's one way you can kind of generate some income while you are on a Slayer task, is just use the GE. Just kind of let the GE do the lifting. Some of these tasks that aren't so great with the rewards for the moment until they adjust the drop tables, right? You can compensate for that by just trying to go big with the flips at the GE. But it takes money to make money, so I understand that. But you save up over the months, you save up over the weeks, right? And you just, whether it's runes, logs, ores, bars, etc., when you get to a point when you can even flip one of these big ticket items, then you've kind of made it, because then you just stick with that item for the 4-hour time frame. So if it's Torva plate legs, you become a master at flipping Torva plate legs for, 4 hours or whatever it is. And not every flip is gonna be profitable, but if you're on top of it, more often than not, they will be. So we're going to see how much of a difference that the Barrows gloves are going to do based on the way I train, like how I've documented over the months. Again, I use the Divine Super Combats, Piety, right? So it's just, given that I've seen my max hit get up to like 52. Again, this is with Torva plate legs. And maybe that is with the strength stance or the aggressive stance. My previous max hit, not fighting Karasks, is 51 with the Grazi. So if we're dealing 53, 54 now, that's how you kind of know. So I'm always curious to see what'll happen anytime I get an upgrade. And now that we've got the second best training gloves in the game, I mean, really, there's only one more upgrade we could get, and that wouldn't be until what? Dragon Slayer 2 or whatever. Oh, I forgot my antiplayer. I forgot my well, we're just gonna run through here then. And I've got my click on the tab if something goes wrong. All right, here we go. Let's see what we can do. So we are going to start fighting now. Oh, there's a 47. Nice. Once I get, I'm keeping an eye on when I get like a 50 hit, you know? Oh, here we go, 51. Okay, 51. And it didn't do the max hit splat, so I know we're going to have a max higher than 51, unless it's fractional, which... I'm going to guess my max is 53. There's a 50. There's a 50 bomb. A 48. I know it's not Ember Light, but this really is still fairly effective at fighting these. You know what I mean? Like this setup. It's not going to be number 1, but I'll take number 2 or 3. You know what I mean? We sold the Torva plate link, so that's cool. So we'll make like, I think it was 700k. But again, if you multiply that by 8, that's the kind of money you can make. And that's just one piece of Torva. So again, you focus on one, and as long as it's not like crashing, you can... you want to do it when the price is stable. I made the mistake earlier and I overcommitted when I bought during like a bit of a crash. But what I've learned from time is that when like if you make a mistake like that, the thing is what can bail you out is an update typically. Sometimes the price will just shoot right back up, you know, once a couple hours have gone by. So I've got 2 that still haven't sold. Those could be a couple mil loss each, but I'm not trying to like worry about it. Easier said than done though, because that's a lot of money to lose for a couple trades. We are taking on some Slayer tasks. Now that we've got the Barrows gloves finally, I'm just showing you them in action now that we have them. It's, again, I haven't been playing with this on this character for years, but I've played this game for off and on over the years. This is one quest in OSRS, the Recipe for Disaster, that I wanted to finish, so I'm glad that I did for the stream. Because this was on my top of my to-do list, getting these gloves. Because when you look at the calculation, like the when you look at like on the wiki, if you see, they'll talk about different things like your effective attack level. They'll talk about you know, basically the attack roll versus the defense roll, stuff like that. I always think that that's like an interesting stuff to look over, you know. So there is a point when your attack roll is basically like you have a 95% or greater chance of hitting an enemy. Oh, okay, there's the 52. So okay, we can hit 52. And it's kind of like splitting hairs when you go from 96 to 97. Anything above 95, I think you would take, right? But I was actually looking at what it would take for me to start landing hits if I were to fight Nex, because Nex is one of those bosses that for one day I do want to fight Nex. One day I want to attempt it. I was just curious. I'm like, well, what kind of attack? First of all, what level would I need to have an attack, and what gear? You know what I mean? So you basically gotta be pretty high, but having like Barrows gloves is just one of those things where now you can add plus statistics to whichever style you're using in terms of an upgrade, and then you're a little more likely. And it's just kind of getting these other best in slots kind of going, you know? Because my approach would be to use a stab weapon. That would be my approach. Before we can do anything like that, I would want to take on like bandos, probably. That's probably what's going to be one of my next streams, is attempting bandos. But I do want to level up ranged and stuff. I know you could just use protect from range, but I do want to just level it up anyways, guys. I mean, it definitely makes a difference having these gloves. It's noticeable with the accuracy. Like, we're pretty much hitting every time at level 90, and they're getting smashed. So this is it's a good sign. A good sign. That's kind of what I was hoping for when I upgraded. The less zeros you get when you're training, it's just going to lead towards bigger gains. Like, you're going to just notice, you know, you're going to level up faster. Until I get Ember Light, Arc Light, etc., you know what I mean? Until I do that. Because, I mean, checking off Recipe for Disaster was a big to-do for me. But I'm going to try to work towards finishing up some of these other quests and getting some of these other upgrades to weapons and stuff, you know? But what I like to do is I like the joy of the journey, like the process. So, like, going from, you know, it's like humble beginnings. Going from 40 damage max hit to 42 and going to 45. Like, I like seeing the progression. Because over time, I kind of build upon my strategy. Once I get more of a gauge of how I'm doing in battle, I can kind of go, okay, well, I'm consistently hitting, you know, 40s now. You know what I mean? Thanks for the like, appreciate it. These are the stats we're working with right now. I am trying to get to 91 attack. That is my current goal. I'm not sure which one's attacking. Okay. I was like, which one's attacking me? I wasn't sure. So we've been at this for what, 10 minutes, right, chat? We've been fighting for 10 minutes. And when I started, 149. Okay. So we started at 149. So we killed 30 in 10 minutes. Okay. We took out 30. Actually, no. I think I used the potion a minute soon because I was in the I was at the Blue Dragon. So I think we've actually been at this for about 9 minutes. No, so what we're gonna have to do after this next potion use, I'm gonna actually do the next 15-minute block, and then that will I'm gonna multiply by 2, and then I'm just gonna assume like that's my that would be my hourly rate. I'll kind of give you like the before and after of, okay, pre Barrows gloves, this is kind of the XP rate I was getting, and you know, post Barrows, you know, now that I've got them, it's probably another 10,000 XP an hour. But I have to like, you know, I have to at least do one, you know, at least one run of 15 minutes to kind of ballpark that and confirm that. It's a noticeable difference, though. I'll say. We're not really hitting, I mean, we're hitting zeros, but it's not that many. You know what I mean? And we're just kind of blasting them, you know what I mean? So looking at this from this perspective, just looking at it from a gear standpoint, I don't have a fire cape. I don't have an inferno cape. You know what I mean? So, you know, for as far as strength goes for the cape, we have a lot of potential to get more of a max hit upgrade. But the level of difficulty, that's still something that is a bit out of my. I've tried to do the fight caves or whatever before. One time, and it wasn't with this character. It was on RS3. I've told this story before, but just in case. So on RS3, it was probably 7-8 years ago. I attempted to defeat Jad, and I was using melee, and I know that's not the advised method, because I think typically players range them, right? But I guess I was just confident in my ability. I got Jad to about half health, and I was kind of underneath him, I guess, maybe, but I didn't get a good read on which attack was used, you know, because the stomp, like the way the way he does the range and the mage ones kind of looked the same to me. And I guessed the prayer wrong, and I think I got one hit. So I went through all those waves and all that, and I got like one shot. I haven't tried it since. I'm not closing the door and saying I can't do it. I just don't think that the way I fight him is gonna work. I think I gotta become a ranger for a day and do what other people do and safe spot him or whatever you do, because I'm just gonna have to do that if I want to get the fire. But then besides that, it would be trying to upgrade the Ardun cloak. But there's a couple quests I gotta do to get to the third cloak. And really, it may not seem like you're gonna get much of benefit by getting +1 stab and +1 prayer. But when I was looking through how the attack roll and the defense roll, how that's all calculated, you'd be surprised. It does make somewhat of a difference to get +1. I know it may not seem like it, but yeah, it technically does. So if it gets you over the hump to where you're 95% accurate instead of 50, that's a big deal. So yeah, I'm gonna look into it. But some of those quests, like Regicide, and some of those take a while. But I think it would be just like, I guess there's the Avernic Defender. So that's +5 stab, and then I think +1 strength or 2 strength, I can't remember. And then they're going to be coming out with the Avernic Treads, I don't know, in a month or whenever that content drops for the new boss or whatever. Which, by the way, chat, if you have the means to buy some Eternal boots, you may want to look on the wiki and see what they're doing, because they jumped up another mil today. Honestly, I think those could be 20, 30 mil, guys. They're 11 mil right now. I think they're going to go up to 20 or 30, because the market's going to try to find equilibrium, right? So you have Ranger boots, you have Primordial boots, and you have Eternal boots, right? Any one of them can be used to create the Avernic Tread. But the Eternals are like 15 mil cheaper than the next one. That's not gonna hold for, once that drops, trust me, that's gonna change. So if you're looking for an investment play, you have 11 mil to spend, I would buy a pair of Eternal boots, honestly. It's just a suggestion. I mean, besides getting bonuses, like more of a bonus, the best thing you can do is just get more levels for your character. So that's another reason why I'm going for 91 attack. Because when I was, like I said, when I was looking at how they do like the attack roll and all that, you have what's called an effective like attack. It's going to factor in your attack bonus and your attack level. Oh, there's a 52. Nice. And it's also going to be checking, like, do you have any other boosts, like piety and all that, right? If you're on a Slayer task, you're going to get even more of a bonus damage, right? So when I was calculating what I would need to take on next and have 95% accuracy, the only bummer was like, okay, well, I don't think you're going to benefit from the Slayer helmet. Well, because you can't get, I don't think you can get next as a task, right? So you have to do it without the Slayer helmet. So then it got me thinking, just in total overall, like your overall effective combat level. Like, you know how these monsters have like a high level, like 172? Technically, your character does too. They just don't show it, right? But if you want to think of it in like monster terms, if you were to like view the equipment stats and see what your bonuses are, you can actually calculate it for yourself. But we're not only level 114. I mean, that's like PvP level. You know what I mean? Like that's like your level that, But like with your stat bonuses, it's higher than. So if I'm not able to get 95% accuracy on next, let's say, just hypothetically, well then can I get my defense bonus to an amount that I take, I'm less likely to be hit, right? So that could be the fun in it. It's a lot of numbers and it's a lot of number crunching, and I get that. It's not the most glamorous thing. But if it leads you to making some serious cash in this game, I think it's worth taking an hour to kind of just see what you're really doing in terms of the numbers. Because that's all this game is doing, is it's numbered, right? We're shown like a sprite to hit, but really what it's doing is it's just taking and receiving data. We've got 219,000 left to go for 91 attack, which will be great. I'll probably... I was trying to think if I wanted to go... I probably want to get 94 strength after 91 attack. We're kind of cruising, so I mean... We're going to pick up another HP level too. It'll still be a couple hours yet, but I'm saying at least it's within reach. When I see that there's like 400,000 left for HP, I'm like, okay, this is going to take a while. We've also got Slayer that's 65k away from 84. And what I keep forgetting to do, which I need to do, you'll have to remind me if I forget, but I need to use a wild pie before I start my Slayer tasks, just to see if I can get like abyssal demons, or you know what I mean? I thought about that the other day, and I was like, well, if I boost my Slayer, is that going to influence the task? I think that there's a reason why you have a Slayer, a wild pie, right? So yeah, basically in conclusion, I would say Barrows gloves, Torva legs. It's definitely making a difference in training. Like I'm seeing a noticeable improvement to XP rate. The amount of it basically translates to taking out more enemies in the same amount of time. And that'll also mean slightly better Slayer XP per hour too. Because I think it was, what, 27,000 Slayer per hour I was getting before Barrows, Gloves, and Torva. I keep forgetting. So once I'm done, I'm going to use the next use, and then we're going to see how many from the top count, how many I take out in 5 minutes, and then I'm just going to multiply that by 12. Alright, so we're at 74 to go. Pretty much from scratch. I mean, we did like 1 damage, so not a big deal. Alright, so we're from 74, when this use is up, we're going to subtract how many we take out from how many were left. And then I'm going to multiply that by 12, and I'll give you a rough idea of how much Slayer XP we're getting, and, you know, all that. Like the attack XP. But this is probably the fastest rate I've gotten while playing this so far. For attack, specifically attack. Attack is basically strength now. Where I was when I was on the strength, when I was on aggressive stance. That's basically my control, my accurate stance now. So that's kind of how it's moved. But we've got the damage output like that, but we've got the accuracy plus the stance. You know what I mean? So now we're more accurate on top of being just as strong. But we're not even in the strong stance, you know what I mean? Otherwise, we'd be probably hitting 53, 54. Which will be interesting when I switch to strength, maybe in a little while, you know? We'll see what the max hit becomes. All that time I spent training prayers kind of paying off too. You see, with all these potions I bring, that was why I put all that time into training it. It was at 70 for the longest time. Remember, chat? I had prayer at 70 for like a month or two or whatever. And then I bought all those dragon bones and I'm like, well, I'm just gonna start training it now. I finally got the gilded altar for my POH. That took me a while. I've been just trying to check off a lot of boxes to get a lot of this done as soon as I can. A lot of these to-dos that I had in mind for a while. So that'll probably, if I wanted to get to 89, it would probably take me, because I get 240,000 XP an hour with Dragon Bones on a Gilded Altar. So yeah, I don't know. An hour and 45 minutes or something. So what you could do is just do like an hour a day, and then in 2 days you'll get 89, you know? So that's one idea. And then it won't feel like it's as much kind of going on. I'll do an hour and then kind of split it up. But I just, you know, even while I was doing all that training, I was just like, man, I want to finish Recipe for Disaster. I want to finally get the Barrows gloves, and I'm happy I did. I'm happy that I stuck with it. I would say the most difficult part about Recipe was probably that caramel fight. It wasn't even really the Kalin Romancer. It was caramel, because of the constant threat of getting frozen, where you can't really input or do anything, right? And you're getting your stats lowered. It's because you can't use prayer. So that's what makes it challenging. But we did it. All right, so see if we can get the kill here. I'm just gonna count this last one because sometimes with latency and misclicking and things, I do give a little bit of time for like the last kill. So we took out 15 of those black demons in 5 minutes. So then you multiply that by 12. So we take out 180 of these in an hour. Okay, so 180 of them. So I'm going to calculate what. So 180 per hour times 157. Okay. So it's 28,260 Slayer XP per hour. So we went up about 1,000 Slayer XP. So that's, yeah. I mean, it's positive. It's plus, plus 1,000. But then you multiply that times 4 because that's the XP you get for every damage. So, alright, we get 113,000 attack XP per hour. That's what we're getting. I'm not saying that's the best in the game, but what I'm saying is that's a little better than what I was getting, yeah. That's better than what I was getting. I think I was getting like 108, 109. So, we're getting more. We are getting more. But the thing is, then you divide that by 3, right? I think you divide by 3. Yeah, you divide by 3. We're gonna get about 38,000 HP XP per hour. So your all in XP per hour doing this would be. I'm just trying to add it up on the fly here. So it would be what? 66, about 180,000 XP per hour divided amongst 3 skills. So basically your main combat style, HP where applicable, and then Slayer. I mean, that's pretty modest, I think, 180,000. It's not gonna be all in one, but I mean, they're three skills are getting attention at the same time. Like you're working towards a goal on 3 of them. I think that's pretty solid, honestly. And now we're hitting 52s pretty consistently. Like it's not just once an hour. We're getting good hits. Like we're getting good hits in. And this isn't even like Ember Light or Arc Light. Just imagine what that's gonna be. So, this is just with the Grazi, like specifically for these kind of enemies. There's a lot more potential, right? But I'm just demonstrating what it would be. For instance, if you were to use the Grazi with the Barrows gloves. We've got 48 more of these to go. So that will take us about 15 more minutes, and then we'll be done with this particular task. So yeah, 15 minutes, and then we're done with this task. And you might be wondering why I don't bring a cannon to these tasks, and it's just a preference for me. Like I said earlier, when I was fighting and doing that recipe quest, like I mentioned, for when I reference accessibility, I basically say that like they would like Jagex would say in like a blog post when they reference that. That's to say like my ability to actually do the activity based on graphical assets, right? What's nice kind of with these enemies is they don't really bother. Like the green of the eyes and how they kind of rock back and forth. It does simulate motion sickness a little bit, but it's not. It could be worse. So I'm just grateful that it's not. So I can tolerate these pretty well typically. But I'm just glad that I got recipe finished because that's one quest where maybe it would be cool if they had like a modifier, like if you're able if you're able to toggle off the graphics for like the portals, because it's really kind of shimmery, and I don't know, it probably doesn't bother like 99% of people, but just because my experience was that it did for me, maybe it would be nice to like, hey, you could just right click it and just kind of like deactivate the like the sprite asset where it's just showing you like you can still click to go there, but I like, you know, like overhead, when you have the overhead yellow arrows, I don't need to see it flash and blink 100 times. I see that there's an enemy that I have to attack, you know? That would also be nice to disable if you want. But based on my current rate, I'm probably, I don't know, like 14 minutes or so away. We're going to get this task done, and then we'll get on to another one. I'll show you guys. If it's a good task, then we can kind of just jump to that and continue on here. But welcome, everybody. We are playing some OSRS. Just finished the recipe for Disaster Quest. If you're just tuning in, that was, I don't know, maybe half an hour ago, probably. We did end up getting the Barrows gloves, which was, it was just something that I was working for a while. I kind of would have it in mind to do, and then I would just either forget, or looking at some of the requirements, I would just go, okay, well, Desert Treasure is a long quest, and I would just kind of put it off. And I'm glad that, yeah, it took me a while, but I'm glad that I got it done. Because then it made this stream possible, you know? Alright, so Torva plate legs are under 190 million now. It's been a while since they've been under 190. The lowest that I've seen Torva plate legs sell for while I've been on this game is 180 mil. So it's 9 mil away from its lowest ever. I bought 2 pairs of the plate legs for like 193.5 or 193.6. So in current market, I would lose a couple mil on each one. I just got unlucky when I was trying to buy them. I got unlucky, but what I'm banking on is I think they're going to go up. As long as the update's a good one, I think that they would go up a little bit. At least I would like to think so. So now might probably be one of the best times in the game to buy the plate legs if you want to buy them. Sometimes these windows, they last for a couple hours and it just seems like they're just going to keep crashing, but historically speaking, it can be few and far between. Getting some weird lag, guys. I don't know if something's up, what's up, but I tabbed out of there somehow. Huh. That's strange. I only had one prayer left, too. But yeah, I mean, we did what we set out to do, right, guys? We got the Barrows gloves. You know, it was a good stream, honestly. Thanks everyone for watching, and like I said, I was gonna call it anyway, just because, like I said, I wasn't feeling well. So, I hope everyone is doing well, and thanks for stopping by. this was a good episode. And again, if you wanted to see the conclusion of Recipe for Disaster, feel free to watch it back from the start. I think it was like a few minutes in was when I started fighting some of those bosses. Yeah, I mean, I'm just glad I got it done, and we ended up getting the Barrows gloves. So thank you all. Shorter stream today, but we're going to get back to it tomorrow, hopefully, and we'll catch you on the next one, everybody. Peace.